just joined us, it's still Journalist Hangout. I still have BK right here and Asukwa James. Now straight to our next conversation. Recognition without remembrance can feel like an incomplete victory. This could be why retired Colonel Abubakar Dangiwa Umar is using his recent command of the Federal Republic CFR honor from President Tinubu as a platform to spotlight forgotten heroes of Nigeria's democratic struggle. The former Kaduna State military governor, while appreciating his national award, insists that over 38 military colleagues who sacrificed their careers and risked their lives during the June 12, 1993 crisis deserve similar recognition. Umar's call reflects a broader concern about historical justice as he argues that true honor must extend to all who contributed to Nigeria's democratic journey, not just those in the current spotlight. I mean, first of all, BK, you need to take your flowers, because I think it was right here at this table where you queried why people like Colonel Dangiwa was omitted from the list, and the needful was done. At
least it's on record that I was the first to say on TV that Colonel Dangiwa Umar, who risked his commission, should have been honored. You know, mistakes are made from time to time, but what I even want to see is a situation in which this is a continuous thing. We don't have to honor all of them at the same time. Football clubs, basketball clubs, they have what we call the Hall of Fame. You know, so they will induct into the Hall of Fame. It's a yearly thing. They could have done it for everyone the same year. So I want the president to make this a yearly affair. Once we are celebrating June 12th, our new democracy day, then you honor the people that you remember who played that role. And there are many people. Even Colonel Dangiwa Umar cannot mention all of the people.
But looking at the names he mentioned, the other names, the military elements, what do you make of the other names? I saw the Sultan of Sokoto there. I saw, I think there was a king in Osun State. So what do you make
you see, there are some of them. There are some of them that even went to jail.
Oh.
There are some of them who were detained, you know, all because of their principled stand. There are some of them who worked behind the scene. Like there's this Colonel Jafar Issa that we just Jafar Issa, military administrator of Kaduna State. Some of those people, we didn't really see what they did. But by mentioning them now, by listing their names, he has given us an idea that there were people
who played
that we didn't really see them. But who played their own role. He's the one who can explain what role this one played, what role that one played. Even his own list is not exhaustive. Because there are people I know, even in that same military, who paid the price for June 12. Some of them jailed, that he didn't mention. Some of them detained over an illegal coup that didn't exist, that he didn't mention. So even his own list is not exhaustive. There is a certain Colonel Mekwaida, best in the NDA, one-time ADC to Ibrahim Babangida, who has honored him. They arrested him in 1995, accused him of coup plotting, along with others. Bello Fadile, all of them. So I'm saying even his own list, it's not exhaustive. He can only talk about the people that were around him, people that they were in the army together that he knew. Because a lot of them, I can say that nearly all of them didn't express their views publicly. But Dangiwa Umar, we all knew what he stood for. He fought for it. He risked his life. You know? So, but as somebody in the army who was in the armored corps, maybe there are people that they used to exchange ideas with and all that, you know that. But we, the ordinary Nigerians, didn't see those people play that role. This is the first time I'm hearing that, okay, some of those people actually, maybe he just added names of people who were sympathetic to the idea, but found it too dangerous to
voice
openly,
out their opinion.
It's not everybody who can be as courageous as Dangiwa Umar. He's 75 years or so now, you know. I'm just happy that before he goes to meet his maker, at least.
Exactly.
Now the president has petitions about the fact that Oputa panel said all of these people, they didn't do anything wrong. Apologize to them. People like LMO Fabi, the traditional ruler of Aito Rogbede, he mentioned him.
Okay.
He mentioned the king. He listed him among his people. They didn't commit any offense. They were arrested, locked up for a coup that didn't exist. It was just an attempt to silence some people within the military that they suspected were not in support of Abacha's decision to truncate democracy. After lying to people, giving the impression to political leaders that he is just there, he's a new broom. Once he steps into power, stabilize things, he will bring Abiola back. He used that to deceive people. He was a con artist. He deceived politicians to get many of them to support his idea. But at the end of the day, what did we see? He was only eager to become president.
Absolutely.
Yes. So that he can loot our country. There is a fresh Abacha loot that is coming. Resources have told me very, very soon, another fresh Abacha loot is coming. And some people told us I was keeping it for us. He's keeping it for us. Meanwhile, his family sued Nigeria. They think that every Nigerian has no information, every Nigerian does not know history. His family sued the country over our money. But some people will open their mouths and tell us, oh, Abacha kept the money for Nigeria.
Mutual fund.
I'm telling you, you will hear very soon that they just they just repatriated another Abacha. One is coming very, very soon.
I mean,
from my sources.
Asuko, obviously, not everyone can be given an award. But looking at the names, Colonel Dangiwa, what do you think the federal government should do, with that list?
Well, I just like BKO said, even BKO that is sitting here too is supposed to be one of the people that they
he also talked about his, he also talked about it.
Because even though he was a reporter then, and he had an editor, the editor has been awarded. The reporter who risked his life.
Yes.
And also is
for a story that I wrote.
For a story should also be awarded. You rewarded for that. For that one, let's leave it. Because I know of so many people who could not even sleep in their houses back then.
Some journalists lost their jobs, because
do you know that even during that time, some journalists up till now, they are still being affected. Their families, they are separated because of that. So. Because once you are in the house, every day, soldiers are coming to come and tell you, where's your husband? Where's your husband? You have your children. And at the end of it, my husband is not, the wife will be afraid.
Absolutely.
Then the next thing, they are out of the country. You are left alone somewhere. You don't know where your husband is and all that. So many people are still living in that dark, the memories of that dark time.
We talked about Moshood Erubami. One of the most committed activists that I've ever seen in our country. Moshood Erubami.
Erubami, yeah.
Very forthright, very, very determined. Nobody has honored him. Very committed. I talked about Glory Kilanko here. And I'm happy even during the special edition,
the special
one of the women who sat with us also mentioned Glory Kilanko, because we saw these people with Ubani. They will come to the north to galvanize people. So there are still many people.
So many people.
People like Abdul Karim Dayabu in Kano. So many people. So Abdul Karim Dayabu, very, very committed, incorruptible man. People know him in Kano. He started what we call the movement for justice in Nigeria. He was president of the Chamber of Commerce in Kano. You don't hear any noise about people like Abdul Karim Dayabu. Yet, extremely honest, very forthright. That's why I'm saying even Dangiwa Umar's list is not exhaustive. There are still many people. So they should make it a yearly affair. Yeah. Today, maybe you are honoring 10. The next year, you know, it should be like that. Democratic heroes.
Yes.
You know, they're always there.
Yes. You know. So I think the president can even, since the Aso Rock is so wide and big, they should just have like maybe a Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Hall of Fame.
Democracy Hall of Fame or something. Build it somewhere. Yes. Their names are there, or their pictures are there.
Do you think the media and...
So it can even be like a museum. People can go there or something.
Yes, so familiarize ourselves with heroes.
Do you think the media and the government, you know, they have a duty to actively preserve and highlight, you know, the roles of lesser heroes of June 12?
Hero is hero. Let's not. Let's not categorize. So you think you are a hero?
Yes.
I give my bosses their flowers, for example. You know, I give my bosses their flowers because we needed them to provide leadership.
Yes.
Sometimes they were not even there at all, but we continue to do the job. You know, some of them fled into exile, but we continue to do the job. I give them their flowers because if they had not galvanized us, we would not have been able to do it. Look at Oshoba. Oshoba and Kokori.
Yeah, Franco Kokori.
Yes, they arrested them, they picked them. You know? So to pick people who were not kids at that time, they were locking them up. So you have to give them, and so some of those who are dead, give them posthumous award. It makes sense. I'm saying, look, let's not do it now and not remember to do it next year. It should be a yearly affair, and I'm confident that the president will consider that because these are people, you look at each person, look at the merits in the suggestion made by people about individuals, and then you say, okay, why don't we just give honor to these people? There are many of them. Even the American Walter Carrington.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, was pro-democracy.
Exactly. As an ambassador.
As an ambassador.
Yes.
That's why I'm happy they named that
streets.
Yes, the whole Kingsway Road.
Yeah, the Walter Carrington.
So there are still people that we can honor. Let's not imagine that, okay, it ends here. And I like what Dangiwa Umar said, that some people are praising the president. They'll say, okay, you say, 2027 will be a walkover, that the president should not listen to such people. You know, such oracles. The president does not need anybody to predict that Donald Trump is going to emerge the president of the world. There are some oracles, there are some predictions that we know will never come to pass. The president doesn't need people to be telling him that, oh, this election you are going to win with 95% approval of Nigerians. Because Nigeria is not Rwanda.
Exactly.
Where Kagame would not even accept anything less than 90%. You know? So some of the people come here who abuse people openly here, let them try and live in Rwanda. Maybe you don't love your country. Try, get on social media. Abuse Kagame. I want to check something. Abuse Kagame. There was a guy who went, who traveled to Nigeria. Inside his room, he was posting some nonsensical stuff about Rwanda. Inside this room, hotel room, they kicked the door open and they picked him. It was the intervention of Nigerian officials that saved him. He would have gone to jail there. You think Rwanda is like Nigeria? And
he compares Nigeria to during the military.
They compare Nigeria to the same Rwanda. They've not lived there. They don't know what goes on there.
Yes. All right, gentlemen.
Because they're seeing beautiful streets.
Absolutely. All right, gentlemen. Let's move straight